Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. First of all, my thanks to Pujya Swamiji, Shantananji, for inviting me to be here. Unfortunately, he is going to be here most of the time when I am going to be. And whenever, I am not exaggerating, whenever I chant Sahana Bhavatu or any other such mantras, when it comes to Shanti, Shanti, I remember him. I am not joking. Every time Om Shanti, Shanti, my mind immediately goes to Swamiji. Thanks Swamiji for being here also with me. And thanks to this April audience, not August audience. To discuss this very beautiful chapter. And Gurudev Gurudev liked actually many chapters and almost all chapters of Bhagavad Gita, but he had a great affinity for this chapter 13. Before we start, we'll chant the Gita Dhyanam, first verse and the last one. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritadarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusantadami Bhagavad Gite Bhavatveshinim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanisadaihi Gayantiyam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyantiyam Yogino Yasyantam Navidusura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. 13 is not an inauspicious number. It is definitely a very auspicious one, especially when it comes to Bhagavad Gita, because here is where Jnana Yoga discussion starts. As you all know, Gita is divided into three parts explaining the Mahavakya, Tattvamasi. So first, the 6 chapters are about Tvam. Tvam means you. Then the second set of 6 chapters starting from 7 to 12 is about Tat, that. And the last 6 chapters starting from now, the 13, is on Asi. What is Asi? Assis. Right? You are assis. That is called Asi. Meaning that thing that is not there, you need to add. Nothing which is there, you need to deduct. That is what is called assis. So Vedanta says, you are assis. That is called Asi. So then anybody would wonder, if I am what I am, why should I do anything? Stay as is. What does it mean? Don't do anything. Don't do anything different from what you are. Really, that is the essence of Vedanta. You are what you are. As Swamiji, I know that I am what I am. No, what is big deal about it? No, but what you refer as I is what you are. Not what you think you are. Very often, we think of ourselves something other than what we are, and we expect others to think that way. One person asked, what do you think about me? Other person said, I never. Very, very, and so don't ask that question to anybody. If somebody gives that answer, what will you do? What do you think about me? I never think about you. So, when we think of ourselves as whatever it is, and we expect the whole world to think like that, who is to be disappointed? Who will be disappointed? So, here, you are what you are, not what you think you are. So, the change is in understanding Bhagavad Gita or Upanishad in general, is to clarify our own idea about who we are. That clarity should come, and that is what Jnana Yoga does. Bhagavad Gita is a compilation of all Upanishad, as you all know. Sarvo Upanishado Gavo Dogda Gopal Nandanaha. Parthaha Vatsaha Sudhihi Bhokta. One who has Sushtudhi, Viveka Buddhi, meaning those who have the correct mindset and ability to understand are the real enjoyers of this knowledge. And here when it comes to study of Bhagavad Gita or any of the Upanishads, etc., the mind should be tuned as well as become doubtless at the end of it. That is the reason why the student's qualification is also given many places, that if you are qualified, you will enjoy more. It is like if you ask me to come to a music concert, especially Hindustani, I definitely will go to sleep. Because if I don't have the mind enjoying that concert or singing, it will be a lullaby for me. Right? So, like Vedanta is lullaby for many of you. So one person came to me and said, Swamiji, I cannot sleep at all. I have this sleep apnea. What do I do? I said, I'll give a link to my talk. First talk itself, you'll go to sleep. Easiest medicine, no side effects. So what you get tuned to, what you understand, is what makes you happy. So this tuning the mind is necessary, for which karma and bhakti are essential. Purification of the mind takes place through the karma yoga, which is explained in the first 6 chapters, concluding in meditation, 6th chapter. Then thereafter, what we should be aiming at, what is to be known. Tat. Even though it begins with that, which is, far away. Slowly, that which you think it is far away from you is going to be brought the closest to you. So what is considered as away from me, different from me, it is something unique, ununderstandable, but at the same time, jneyam, to be known. And that is the subject matter starting from 13th chapter. Yet jneya vastu, that which is to be known, tasya jnanam sambhavati. That knowledge takes place here. So Jnana Yoga is essentially what is to be known, which is not away from you. In other words, Jnapakartam jnanam na karakartam. Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, it is to remind you who you are and not anything to do. Na karakartam jnanam. Now when we listen to such things, by knowledge, usually in the worldly sense, if I get any knowledge, next question is, what do I do with that knowledge? So if you are learning yoga from a book, so how much you can learn from a book? Then you must have a teacher who would show, okay, this is how the posture should be, this is how you sit, this is how you breathe. You should have somebody yoga teacher here, looking at each other anyway. Then at the end of it, you would start doing it yourself. He or she shows you how to do. Now, jnanam, how will anybody will show you how to do? Can anybody show you jnanam? Bhakti also it is possible. You chant this mantra or sit in front of this deity and then take this flower and chant these 108 names and then show arti, then all that. The whole procedure is, it's all, in a way it's karma only, but with a correct bhava, devotion, love. So that can be demonstrated. But jnanam, how will you demonstrate? All of you have learned so many things, now demonstrate if I tell you. I am a software. Okay, demonstrate. So you may write a program and then show how a computer works, or hardware, or you are a carpenter, or whatever, mechanical engineering, structural, whatever it is. It can be seen that you can show this is how you do it. Jnanam, Atma Jnanam. How will you demonstrate? So this subject requires a more refined mind, refined intellect. Sushtudhihi. That's why he puts Sudhi. Bhokta. Sudhihi eva bhokta. One who has the tuned mind, having refined with the help of doing action selflessly by which one has overcome the selfish attitude of the mind, surrendering to the Lord, performing as a offering to the Lord, then further refinement through becoming fit devotee of the Lord. As Bhagavan Krishna said in 12th chapter, Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitra karuna eva chaityadi. Who is my devotee? One may call oneself as a devotee of the Lord, but Bhagavan has to say you are the devotee. Right? We can claim ourselves to be a devotee, but if I say I know the president of this country, does he know you? That's more important than you. Everybody knows who is the president, but he knows you. Similarly, you can say I am devotee of the Lord. But what does Bhagavan think as the character of a devotee? That was explained in 12th chapter. So having done that, in the path of devotion, it starts with division. Devotion begins with division. Bhakti mein bhag hai. That is dvaitam asti. Because I love something, always something which is other than me. To start with. If I say I love this thing, that is not me. That is something which I love. But it is also true at the same time, the first love for all of us is personal love. I am. Self-love is the starting point of everything. But interesting thing is, that focus is not there in us. I love something that makes me happy. I love X, I love this object, I love this person. But for whose sake? Me. So, because I love myself, Upanishad says, Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Because you love yourself, therefore you love everything. Think. What makes you happy is what you love, correct? What makes you unhappy will you love? And why you want to be happy if I ask you? Because I love myself. If there is a person whom I love, I don't want that person to be unhappy. If there is a child, or husband or wife, or even dog, I love my dog. I don't want it to suffer. So, I love something because that one is giving me happiness. And just because the fact that I want to be happy shows I love myself the most. And what is this self-love then? Why do you love yourself? Do you know? See, without knowing something, can I love something? If I don't know a person, can I love? If I say I love somebody without knowing that person, it is only a hearsay. But more and more you come to know that person, either you love more or you start hating. That's why sometimes you say, Rehne do, I keep loving until I know who that person is. The moment that person comes closer to me, I don't like it. But that is not the case with loving oneself. In spite of the fact, I don't know who I am. So presently our love is about ourselves, body. Is it not? I love myself. What does it mean? I, me, the body, physical body, I love the most because this is what I am. So I pamper it by eating food, daily cleaning the body with taking shower. And when I look at myself in the mirror, sometimes I feel that some wrinkles have appeared. So cover it with foundation 1, 2, 3. Or I'm coming from Hollywood, so Botox, all that we do. Why? Because I think myself as the body, and if I want to love myself, I should look myself good. Whether others are looking at all, that's a different thing. Or if I say that I am my mind, I love my thoughts, I love my opinions, I love my ideas. So where your identity is about yourself, that makes you feel that that's what you are, and that's where your focus will be. I love myself as a body. I love myself as my thoughts and emotions, feelings, opinions, ideas, knowledge. But Vedanta says, you're not that. It's like pouring a cold water on your enthusiasm. So if somebody goes there, you are not what you think you are. You are not the body. You are not the mind. You are not your intellect. So then who I am? That because of which you love everything, even your body, that's what you are. That because of which you love your mind, that's what you are. Shrotrasya shrotram manaso manoyat. In Upanishad it is said, you are the ear of the ear, mind of the mind, eye of the eye, prana of the prana. That's what you are. But that I don't know. Come to the 13th chapter. That is why in this particular chapter, first verse, which is there in our CCMT book, is not there in all versions. So with this additional verse, which is not found in most of the versions of Bhagavad Gita, the number of verses in Bhagavad Gita is 700. With this, it becomes 701. But Gurudev added this one particular verse, which comes as a question by Arjuna. Most of the chapters start with question by Arjuna, because the previous chapter ended with explanation of Bhakti Yoga, And there is no direct connection to Jnana Yoga from there. Jumping from the path of devotion directly to path of knowledge, there is no link. Usually the last verse of the previous chapter has something, or not necessarily last verse, but last few verses of the previous chapter has something to do with the next one, the link. But here we do not find a direct link between the last chapter and this. Because he ended with Etu dharmyamritamidam yatoktam paryupasate shraddhadana mat paramaha mat bhaktaste ativa me priyaha. He was only talking about who is a devotee, one who has followed this dharma. And suddenly he is talking about apparently looking like unrelated. So the connecting link is this verse. So many versions of the Bhagavad Gita may not have this, but Gurudev thought that it is necessary to have this connection. So we read the first verse. That is there in the CCMT book. In my book it is in page number, first introduction is there, and then page number 67. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Arjuna Uvacha Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Kshetram Kshetrajnamevacha Etat Veditumichami Jnanam Jneyam Cha Keshava. Together. Arjuna Uvacha Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Kshetram Kshetrajnamevacha Etat Veditumichami Jnanam Jneyam Cha Keshava. Then the very name Arjuna means one who is straight. How many of you are straight? Sitting straight, I mean. All of you. Because like an arrow. Like the word Ruj. Ruj means to be straight. Rujutvat Arjuna. Like an arrow, like an army man. He was an army man who is always with the bow and arrow. That arrow has to be straight. So also Arjuna is always straight. In his personality, always one who wants to ask. If he wants to ask, he will ask. No doubting whether should I not. Because the quality of a student is, he must be very bold to ask questions to the teacher, which shows that he is thinking. Right. At the end of the talk, if I ask you, do you have any doubt? Nothing, Swamiji, no doubt at all. Either one of the two possibilities are there. You never heard. You never bothered to hear anything. Right? Because your mind is occupied with something else. Second is, you think you know everything. Why did I ask? But Arjuna was not like that. I don't know something, you better tell me. So his doubt comes from his understanding of Upanishad and Vedanta, which he has studied before. And who is the right person to ask then? Bhagavan himself is standing. So he is asking 3 pairs of questions. Asking question means clarifying your thinking, your understanding with respect to 2 or more things which appear to be similar. Especially when it comes to Vedanta, the doubt should be about Atma, Anatma, Satyam, Asatyam, Nityam, Anityam. Right? What is true, what is false, what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad, what is temporary, what is permanent. So here also he is asking first one, Prakriti and Purusha. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva. This word he has come across before. Prakriti, Bhagavan has talked about it. In fact, in 7th chapter, he made it clear that there are two kinds of prakritis. One is para prakriti, another is apara prakriti. Bhagavan has said that entire creation is nothing but called as prakriti. Prakarshena kritatvat. It has been created very well with my power, Maya. And it is of two types. Para means higher, apara means lower. And bhumirapo nalo vayuhu kammano buddhirevacha ahankara idiyemme binna prakriti ashtada. There are 8-fold prakritis there. 5 of them you know very well as earth, water, fire, air, space. Panchabhutas. Bhumirapo nalo vayuhu kam. This we know. Then, not external, but internally you know that there is something called mind. That which thinks, that which feels, that which emotes, mana. Then one which is in the form of understanding, buddhi. Right? So, bhumirapo nalo vayu kammano buddhihi. So, 5 plus 2, 7. Then the next one is called ahankar, which is of the nature of identification, which has the notion of I. It is not necessarily a thought, it's a notion, it's a feeling as well. It is a sense of identity. Even a small child has it. If you ask the child when it is very 1 year old or even less, it would not have developed that identity that strong. But after some time, you want this cereal or that cereal? Yes. What about that? I don't want. How did it develop that I don't want idea? It over a period of time, it has strengthened its notion of who I am. Also, if it's playing with a toy and it has got another child, let us say that child has got a brother or sister, it won't share that toy. Mine! Until it gets something else. Then it will very generously, chalo, le lo, mujhe nahi chahiye. Because the identity changed. Now it is only interested in tricycle, let us say. Then it gave up all this. Now you take it very generously. Because I has moved to something else. So the whole, throughout our life, our I keeps changing, shifting. Our identity about ourselves, our identity about what we want, what we do not want, what I like, what I don't like, how others should see me, how others should behave with, all this continuously changes. So this ahankar is also my apara prakriti. So earth, water, fire, air, space, mind, intellect and ego. This is known, experienced, and that's what you think you are composite of. Remove all these things, you are nobody. In general, body is what? Made of combination of 5 elements. They are together, working together, without clashing with each other. When they start moving apart, it is called departure. Right? What is departure? Part and the depart. That's why when somebody departs, what do we say? What do we say? Rest in peace. Right? Somebody asked this question. Rest in peace. Why do we say R.I.P.? Rest in peace. It's because when you die, rest of the people are in peace. Until now, you are giving so much of trouble to them. Anyway, that's a joke. Now, so when that departure, according to Vedanta, what is left behind is your gross body. Composite, combination of earth, water, fire, air, space. But what departs? Departs has 2 meanings. One is going apart, but something is going away. What is that which is not there anymore? Where people cannot deal with you anymore? Even otherwise people cannot deal with you. But now, what is absent there? What has gone? That is mana, buddhi, ahankar. This is called subtle body, sometimes known as shuttle body. Because it shuttles from one body to another. This is what is considered as presently as jiva. In colloquially, or people generally understand that is a jiva which has left this body, then takes up to another. Not necessarily human, but whatever it is. So, this much only I am. But Bhagavan doesn't stop there. Apareyamidastu anyam prakritim viddhi me param. Understand there is one more thing which is called para prakriti. Apara, meaning different. All these 5 elements plus 3 is called apara. Apara iyam. Tu anyam. Other than that, there is one more. Prakritim viddhi me param. Understand my para prakriti. Again, he attributes it to himself only. Both the material things which I come to experience as earth, water, fire, air, space, mind, intellect, ahankar is also me. This is a very important point you have to understand. Also, there is one more aspect of mine which is higher than all these things, different from all these things. Jiva bhutam mahabaho yaya idam jagat dharyate. That is called real jiva. So what you have understood yourself as jiva is the apara prakriti. But that is not you. The real one is jiva bhuta. Who? Myself who has become jiva. Myself has become an individual being. Myself has become the individual awareness which is aware of the existence of all the other 8. This is the key. This is the seed for this chapter. Shankaracharya in his commentary, he says that is the one he picks up from. What Bhagavan Krishna does is, he puts some words here and there and waits for Arjuna. Did he get it or not? When he asks question with reference to that, that means you learned. You heard this. Because in many places, he would not have used that term and explained fully. He would have used the term but not explained fully. And if Arjuna got it right, he will pick up the thread. You said that Prakriti there. What actually it means? And also you refer something called Purusha, which comes from Sankhyan philosophy. See, Bharata land is a land of philosophy. Various darshanas were developed over a period of time. Darshana means vision, really speaking, but schools of philosophy. And one of the schools of philosophy is Sankhyan, Sankhya Darshanam or Sankhya Darshan, which is similar to that of what we call today's world as science. Sankhyans, the very word Sankhya means well defined. Samyak khyayate, very well defined. Or Sankhya means counting also. So Sankhyans are those who divided or classified the entire world properly. Like a science does. Anything to understand, we need to understand its nature. 3 things are important according to the Sankhyans and as well as the Vedanta philosophy. Hetu, Swarupa and Karya. I'm just little going detail so that you'll understand how it is, the thought process is. Hetu, Swarupa and Karya. Meaning, what is the cause of a thing? What is the nature of a thing? What is the result of a thing? This is how science approaches, but our masters have approached it long time back about this. How to understand a thing. So, if I want to know about any object, first of all I should know where it came from. Hetu Karanam. So if you take the chair you are sitting, let us say. So what kind of a chair is that? Plastic. So plastic or whatever the cotton or the fiber, that is the hetu, karanam. Okay. What is the swarupa? What is the quality? What is the function? For what it is used? For what it is made of? What it is made of is understood, it's cotton. But then, what is the swarupa of it? What is the nature of it? How does it behave? The third one is, what is the use of it? That is karya or phala or prayojanam. Now, Sankyans have understood the whole creation in this way. Hetu Swarupa Karya. Thus they divided the world into many parts. Broadly speaking, they brought the concept of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. This is entirely Sankhyan system. How the certain behavior of things of one kind which enables knowledge to happen in the mind of the person, one who is sattvic, and the world which is made of sattva. They are mutually helping each other. Then the world of action, not knowledge, action, which again, the state of mind as well as the things in the world. That is rajas. And those which are delusional are dull-witted or in the form of unproductive for knowledge, unuseful for action also. Tamas. So this way they have given very good clarity about world as well as the personality. Now the question remains, who is that, who is the individual who is able to experience the nature of sattva, rajas and tamas? So they call that experiencer as Purusha. Now, broadly speaking, we can say matter and spirit. Matter and spirit. For Sankhyan system, as much as it is for the science, both are real. The world is real, as well as the experience of the world is also real. That's what most of us are thinking about, right? If I am experiencing, I am real. And what I am experiencing is also real. There are, anyway, I'm not going to too much deviate from this point. So those who think that the experiencer is real, experienced is also real, they basically belong to Dvaita Marga. Dvaita means duality. Two are there. Two are real. Both are real. And according to the Sankhyan system, there are two major schools of philosophy in the Sankhyan system itself. One which believes in God, one which does not. Anishvara Sankhya and then Seshvara Sankhyan's. I'm not going into that. That's why I said I'm not going to get into that. But Purusha and Prakriti both are equally real and both are together. Obviously, like my body, mind, intellect, etc. As Bhagavan has explained, Para and Apara Prakriti both are there. Me, the experiencer, as whatever I experience, both are there together. Ubau Anadi. Both of them are beginningless. This is the standpoint of the Sankyans. Both are Anadi. Anadi means beginningless. Because if you want to understand where it began, you have to understand something other than these two. Either is Purusha created Prakriti or Prakriti created Purusha, then there will be a problem. Because matter cannot create spirit. Spirit cannot create matter. Meaning, something which is conscious cannot create unconscious things. Matter essentially is jadam, meaning unconscious, inert, experienceable. Whereas the one who is experiencing or experiencer is of the nature of consciousness, meaning knows, aware. So the one who is conscious cannot create unconscious things, nor the matter which is unconscious by nature can create conscious things. Now this is where the science has a trouble. How life begins? There was one documentary, in Netflix some time back, they had about the origin of the whole universe, etc. There was a I think Steven Spielberg or somebody had created. I don't remember exactly again I said I'm from Hollywood, so you have to know from me. So he created that documentary about the creation, and I was so eagerly watching what is his explanation on life. So then there was only water, and then there was life. To tell me where in between, how did it start? No explanation on that. There was life. Now, what is the origin of life? How can the conscious being come into existence? So, one part of the science would say the combination of matter itself created the life. So, here in Sankhyan system, they say both are anadi, meaning beginningless. It has been there. And it will be there also forever. Now, problem in this thinking is that what do you then call it as liberation or moksha? How the Purusha, if he is always with the conditioning of the matter, can there ever be a freedom from it? Because what is our suffering? What do we suffer? Old age, or thoughts and worries, or so many other factors that are outside us, making us continuously experience suffering or joys and sorrows. So how will you avoid it? Or how will you come out of it? How can there be freedom from this? Are we cursed to only remain like this ever? See, human aspiration is always been to be happy forever, right? Not today. How long you want to be happy if somebody asks you? Tell me how long you want to be happy. Maybe 5 minutes. No, as long as possible. Eternally I want to be happy. So today I will make you happy. Tomorrow also I want to be happy. So there is no end for this quest to be happy. So what is the aspiration of every living being, especially human being who are thinking, I want to be happy forever? How will you achieve that when external factors are conditioning this? Your own body, forget about other worldly things. Your own body will make you suffer. Yes, Swamiji, that's why there is a verse, Zindagi ek safar. It's a journey of suffering. But our Vedanta masters have said, no, there is eternal happiness possible. Now then, what is the idea of Sankhyans about happiness? What is their idea of liberation? Their idea of liberation was asangatvam eva moksha. Asangatvam eva moksha. Meaning what? Getting unattached to the matter is moksha. Which is true. What you are not attached will not trouble you. Correct? When you are attached to anything, attached to body, attached to anything, will make you experience not necessarily only joy, it also can give a lot of unhappiness also. What is then is what is called freedom according to the Sankhyan system, where both Prakriti and Purusha both are true. You cannot depart them. Prakriti cannot remain without Purusha, Purusha cannot remain without Prakriti. Now, if they are always together, and they both are anadi, they cannot be destroyed, they cannot be removed, they cannot be separated, then what can be the freedom that Purusha can experience? Purusha prakritistohi, Bhagavan Krishna brings that point also. Purusha prakritistohi bhunkte prakritijan gunan karanam gunasangosya sadasatyoni janmasu. Purusha stays in Prakriti constantly and experiences whatever due according to the Sattva, Raja and Tamo gunas. So, asangatvam eva moksha according to Sankhyans. Vedanta has asked this question, if asangatvam is the moksha, is it temporary or permanent? Asangatva, meaning detached state, is permanent state or impermanent, temporary one. Now, if you say it is permanent, what happens to the Prakriti then? You cannot discard it. You cannot get away with that. And interesting thing is, those who are believers of the presence of Ishvara also in this context, there are Ishvaravadins also there in Sankhyan system, then Ishvara would not allow you to remain away from the Prakriti for too long. Why? Because your very fact that you are there in the Prakriti or attached to your body, etc., is meant for you to experience the result of your past actions. I ask you this question. How long you can sleep? Swamiji, in your class, quite a bit. No, even when you go to sleep today, after carrying yourself back to home, keeping the same state of mind of kind of tamas. So you go to sleep. But is it not tomorrow you will wake up? Who wakes you up? Don't ask me, Swamiji, I'm a dog. Oh, morning he gets up before me and then comes and, come on, get up. I want to go for a walk. You put an alarm, wake up. Or even if you don't put an alarm, you wake up, right? Who wakes you up? Why do you wake up? Prarabdha. Your own actions of the past which you have to experience will wake you up. For it is that past actions which is functioning is what makes you even breathe now. Or even when you're sleeping. Kohye vanyat ka pranyat. In the Upanishad, who is making you breathe during sleep? So you have to wake up. Your own past will wake you up. Your own past will wake you up means you have to experience your actions, results of your actions of the past. That's what you are born for. It will wake you up. So how long is your independence? How long is your asangatva? It cannot be permanent. It has to end. And when it ends, everything comes back. The moment that asangatva attitude ends, all of them will come back and again you will have to experience it. So asangatva is not a permanent release. So if you keep analyzing this, asangatva cannot be a permanent release from Prakriti. The only way you can be fully released from Prakriti is only when you know that this Prakriti is mithya. It is not true. That is the permanent release. So long as you are in the state of dream, not knowing it is a dream, and suffering the dream experiences, when it will end? When it will end? Not only when you wake up and know that it is a dream. Sometimes you are woken up from a dream where you had 14 rasagullas, even though you are a diabetic. I want to go back and have that 15th one also. Then you have not realized that it is a dream. You still want to go back and experience further, because I can't have now because I am a diabetic. Not I am, so don't worry about it. But rasagullas I want to have, some more rasagullas. So I have to go back and experience more. After you woke up and you know what I experienced, even if it was pleasurable, enjoyable, etc., it is not true. Then only you really woke up. Then only you have real freedom from that experience, good or bad. Right? In the same way, until you realize that what you have been experiencing so far, what you have experienced, is none other than a mithya, false experience, false, and there is no more reality attached to it, not also whatever you will be experiencing from now onward. Upon knowing this, should be continuously maintained by you as false. Then alone, there is true freedom. That is where the Vedanta and the teaching comes. Otherwise, teaching is not necessary. Teaching is necessary only about something which I don't know, but I have to know for release. Jneyam, it is not what is to be known, what is ought to be known for moksha. What has to be known. Therefore, his question is very clear. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva. Swamiji, one whole class on only Prakritim Purusham Chaiva. What is there? So many verses are there. Let us see. Slowly we'll proceed there. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva. Then what does he ask? Two more words which he is asking, which we'll come to it a little later. Jnanam Jneyam Cha. Jneyam. Now, I have told you, what is Jneyam? Moksha Margam Jneyam. Moksham, Moksha Kaha. What is this moksha? What is this liberation? Who is getting liberated? What is this nature of liberation? This is Jneya, to be known. That is, the Purusha becoming free from Prakriti. So I want to understand the nature of Purusha and Prakriti as explained by Sankyans, but I want to know what Vedanta explains about Purusha and Prakriti. How one is false and one is true. What he has understood so far up to this point is, from the Sankyan standpoint, both are real. But is it so, or it is one is false, one is true? And to know that one is false, which is to be Jneyam, what is to be known, what is the Jnanam? What is the means to know that? How do I know that? So Jnanam Jneyam Cha. The means of knowledge and what is to be known by me to be free. Mokshartameva. See, if I am merely intellectually curious to know, it will remain only an intellectual idea, but it does not become me. Then liberation is only a concept, something which somebody will do. So, or many people say, after retirement, Swamiji. अगले जन्म में देखेंगे, ये जन्म में नहीं होगा. We will postpone it. So, Jneyam Kim, Jnanam Kim. What is that? Jneyam, means of knowledge, and what is to be known for me to be free. Now, he brings a new two words which he had not been told at all before. Obviously, Bhagavan Krishna has not referred to these two words ever before. Kshetram and Kshetrajna. This uniquely he brings in. Probably, according to Gurudev also, he had heard it somewhere when during his study, and he wants to connect that two terms here. I want to know about what is that which is perishable and what is imperishable in this. If I understand Prakriti, it is another, many other scholars have written or commentators written that the Prakriti itself is termed otherwise as Kshetram, and the Purusha is, the conscious being itself is referred to him in another term called Kshetrajna. Kshetram Janadi. Jananya means Janadi, knows. He who knows the Kshetram. The word Kshetram will be explained in the next verse. What is Kshetram? So, three pairs of questions he asked. What is Purusha and Prakriti? I want to know. Is, according to Sankyans, I understand them to be two different things, but always together. And Jnanam Jneyam, what is to be known, Jneyam, and what is the means of knowing that? What is the way to know it? That's where the Jnana Yoga portion is starting. That's why it is said by scholars that is where the Jnana Yoga portion starts. Then the same Prakriti, which is also known as Kshetram, and then same Purusha, who is also referred as Kshetrajna. So, Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Kshetram Kshetrajnam Evacha Etat Veditum Ichchami. Jnatum Ichchami. Want to know. Jnanam Jneyam Cha Keshava. So we'll go to the second verse. Bhagavan is now starting with, not with Prakriti and Purusha first. He says, let me tell you about Kshetram. Because a new term you used, which I have not referred, only one place he has used that term is Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. There he only place he has referred to that word kshetra, not afterwards. So he said, you are picking from the first chapter? You started from the first chapter again. So it is like when one of the Upanishads it is said, so after the teacher explained the whole thing, that student asked, Upanishadam bruhi bo, please tell me Upanishad. What did I tell you all this while? So here the word Kshetram. Idam Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetramithya Vidhiyate Etat yo veti tam prahuhu Kshetrajna iti tatvidah Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetramitya Vidhiyate Etat yo veti tam prahuhu Kshetrajna iti tatvidah. Coming straight to the answer to the question, what is Kshetram? Immediately he says, this body, that is Kshetram. Idam Shariram. Idam means this. Body, Sharira, it is called Shirnatvat, that which is subject to perishing. Sharira is that which remains for some time, after that it is slowly losing its abilities. Shirnam gachati. Right. Okay. So the word idam is used by the Lord. Whatever is referred as idam is this. This. What do you call it as this? That is other than you. This table, this chair, this laptop, this mic, this body. Now, whatever you say as idam is different from aham. Aham means I. So, yat idam iti jnayate tat sarvam ahamaha vediriktam. It is different from aham. What does that mean? Meaning it is not you. First hit. He says, this is body. This body is Kshetram. Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetramitya Vidhiyate. And the word Kshetram is also beautifully explained by one Shankaracharya. E Kaunteya Shadatranat Kshayat Sharanat Kshetravadva Asmin Karma Phala Nishpattehe. This is how Shankaracharya explains. It is called Kshetra because it is protecting you from any kind of injury to yourself. External body is Kshatatranat. Trana means to protect. Kshatam is to from injury. Kshatatranat, it is called Kshetram. You know, our being externally being protected by body. The external part of our being is that which protects the inner soul, so to say. Therefore, that which protects the inner soul, therefore it is called Kshetram. This is number one. Second one is, it is continuously perishing. Kshayat. Kshayam gacchati. So, it is Kshayat Kshetram. It is that from the day you are born, Gurudev would say, from the day you are born, your expiry date is fixed. Isn't that anything you buy, first of all, what do you say? When is it expiring? Don't we know that this is also having expiry date? Only thing is we don't know when. So we are thinking, not today, not tomorrow. I think not 10 years. We think that we will live forever. But there is an expiry date fixed for this body also. So Kshayat Kshetram. The third meaning is ksharat kshetram. It is a waste. Because it is continuously made of waste only. The more you eat, the more waste it will become first. Then that also becomes waste. Kshayat, then ksharat kshetram idyam. Or that is what called sharanat kshetram, that is continuously wasting, perishing. Waste. Then another one is because it is a field in which or through which you come to experience the results of your past action. Kshetravatva. Like a field in which you experience your past experience, like past actions. Like if I am doing a field and farming, in that farming, I am doing my work, and then from that land, I am getting what I want. If I am put some trees there, and then daily I make sure that it is given proper water, and then I put the fertilizers, etc. I am working on that. So usually a field is called kshetra. Why? Because that is where I get the result of what I do. Similarly, body is considered as the field in which your past actions results are experienced. Therefore, it is called kshetram. So these are all reason why it is called kshetram. Idam shariram kshetram. Which is to say, that is not to be misconstrued by you as aham. That's not you. As I said, what you think that you are not. So first of all, understand, this body you are not. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetramitya abhidhiyate. Abhidhiyate means it is known as. Abhidha is to know. Abhidhiyate is known as. Known as means idam. So who is then aham there? Who knows? See, anything considered as this must have something who knows it as this. That is philosophy. Yeah? If you are getting too confused, I cannot help it, but that's what it is. Anything you referred as this, somebody knows it as this. And that this one who knows must be different from it. What do we call it as an object and subject? So if idam, shariram id, this is vishayaha, a object, then who is the subject which knows it? So that is why he said, etat, this etat means etat shariram iti yaha veti, yaha janadi. One who knows that this is, the body is a kshetram, he tam, tat vidaha, those who know, kshetrajna iti. That is known as, the one who knows this is referred as kshetrajna. Say, like if I know the pustakam, a book, pustakam aham janami, therefore aham pustagnya. Jna means one who knows. Right? So I the one who knows. Which means that is different from me and I know it. Second point is, without the knower, that can never be known. Think. An object being inert, can it be known by another object? This table does not know that the laptop is sitting on the top of it. It doesn't know. Thank God. Two inert things cannot know others' existence, nor it knows its own existence. Does it know itself? No. Because the jadatvat, being inert, it does not know its own existence, nor it knows anything else other than itself. Both are true. So who knows or what knows the existence of the other? One which is conscious. So only Chaitana Tattva, or that which has Chaitanyam, can know the existence of Jadam. That which is sentient alone will know the existence of object, inert. Inert does not know the inertness of itself. Inert does not know any other thing other than itself also. Whereas, please make this point very clear. The one which is conscious of other things, And primarily, it is conscious of its own being. Right? A conscious thing is that which primarily knows its own presence. Otherwise, when you get up next morning after sleeping, where were you? Was there a world? No. Anything else? No. But were you there? Yes. There is no doubt about that. You have a doubt? I think I was dead yesterday night I went to bed. Today I got up, born again. Born again Hindu I am. It's not that you are born again. So, you are aware, even though at that time you are not aware of yourself being aware. Confusing? Yes. But when you wake up, you have no doubt that it is you. Though before that 8 hours or so, you are not aware of your own being. But that doesn't mean you are not there. Coming back to the point. So, a conscious being is that it primarily knows its own being. Whereas an unconscious inert thing can be known only by another conscious thing. The object can be known only when there is subject. But the subject does not need an object to know itself. Do I need something else to know who I am or what my presence? Swamiji, when I get up morning, first thing I'll do is my mirror, look at me. Oh, I am there. Thought that I am lost somewhere. Do you need to look at your wonderful face in the mirror to know that you... No, one lady got up next morning. Then she tried to use the phone. It didn't work. So she complained to her husband. First time she is using this new model phone. She said, oh, no, why this phone is not working? Please help me. Put on the makeup. Why? Because that is the way it knows you. So with all the makeup, that's what it captured, your identity. No, you thought the makeup, who is this? Stranger, I'm not opening. So I don't need to look at the mirror to know that I am there. So, swaprakasha rupatvat. This kshetrajna, what is known as the conscious being, is that which knows itself independent of all other things. Why this point is important? I'll tell you. In Sanskrit, anything that is in second person should be with the sound should come. Vriksham janami. I know the vriksham. Vriksham, because neuter, it is a different thing. So, it should be, that's Dvitiya Vibhakti it should become. What is it? Dvitiya Vibhakti means that a thing which you come to know is always an object. Purusham janami. Tat purusham janami. Meaning that person I know. Purusham. Right? That is the second person, second case. And like in English, it has 8 vibhaktis. Interestingly is this particular verse, etat yo veti tam prahuhu kshetrajna, not kshetrajnam. That's the point here. Shankaracharya did not write this. Shankaracharya just skipped it. But Madhusudana Saraswati, another commentator, puts this point across. Why it is not in second case? Because swayam janati tasmat. It cannot be objectified. See, everything else can be objectified. This, you can say, refer it as this. But the knower can never be an object. This is the standpoint of Vedanta. Drik na drishyam kadachit bhavati. The subject can never be objectified by anything. Drik drishya viveka, lochanam drik, and all this, rupam drishyam, lochanam drik. Then it comes to drishta drigeva natu drishyate. Meaning, the Consciousness can never become an object of your understanding. It cannot be objectified. It cannot be referred as an object. Therefore, here subtly Bhagavan Krishna has put, Edat yo veti, yaha veti, he who knows, tam. See, yaha kshetrajnaha. Those who understand the Sanskrit, then will understand the intricacy of that point. Kshetrajnaha iti tatvidah. They know it to be a subject. Why it is a subject which is referred in first case only? Swayam janati tasmat. It knows itself. Anyway, let's move on to that point. Swabhavikena औपदिशिकेन va vedanena vishayikaroti vibhagashaha. Meaning, by its own nature of being self-illuminating, as well as it is known by the advice of the Guru. No other way you will know it. That's why Shabdameva Pramanam. Let's not go into that little, otherwise it will become too elaborate. See, anything that I need, if I say this table is there, it is a pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means what? I see it, you see it, everybody sees it. This is pratyaksha pramana. Can the Atma, the self, Atman, the self, can it be known like that? Cannot be known like that. It's not pratyakshena anubhavidam shakyate. It cannot be known as an external object which everybody can see. I know myself, but do you know me? If you say you know me, you know my body. Probably you know my mind or thoughts. But you don't know me as much as you don't know you. Because it cannot be objectifiable as through any pratyaksha marga or means of knowledge. Only way you know is by yourself, swabhavikena va, aupadeshikena va, by upadesha. Vedanena vishayikaroti. Therefore, it is referred as kshetrajna. He who knows. What does he know? Idam shariram iti janati. This is the shariram, idam, and idam kshetram iti janati. This is kshetra. So, one who knows this as kshetram is called kshetrajna. Okay, so he clarified these 2 points, kshetram and kshetrajna. Now the next question is it done? Over, no? Answered. Kshetram is the body, kshetrajna means one who knows the body. Finished. Then next, move on to the next one. No. Who is this kshetrajna? What is its nature? So now you see. Kshetrajnam chapi mam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata kshetra kshetrajnayor jnanam yattat jnanam matam mama kshetrajnam chapi mam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata kshetra kshetrajnayor jnanam yattat jnanam matam mama. Now, this kshetrajna, one who knows the matter, one who is the conscious being, one who knows one is known as subject, which knows the object, one who is the spirit which is aware of the matter, one which is chaitanyam and not jadam, is me. Straight. Who? ISKCON people will be very happy. Krishna. Aham. Main hu. I am the kshetrajna. Meaning, the conscious being in you is me. And not only in you, in everyone. Sarva kshetreshu. In all beings. In all things. Now, Sarva Kshetreshu, what we have seen as Kshetram? Jadam. In the Jadam also, I am Kshetrajna. Oh my. So the very fact that you said it is Jadam, then where that conscious thing comes there? I will come to that later. Now, we as individual beings, we are aware of our own existence, because of which we are aware of existence of everything which is inert, including the body. Even in the mind is also considered inert only in a subtle way. Anything that changes is Jadam. The mind changes also. Swamiji, I changed my mind. Oh, you had one. I never thought you had something called mind. Never mind. So, the mind which is changed also is me. I mean, is the Kshetram only. We will say that later and he will talk about that. Anything, idam yatyajadi sarvam kshetrameva. Anything that is known as idam, this is Kshetram, Jadam. So, in all the Kshetram, I am the knower. Sarva kshetreshu bharata. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi. Me understand to be a Kshetrajna. Now he has used this Kshetrajnam word because now it's trying to objectify it. Objectively come to know that in all the things that are matter, including you, in all beings, I am the one who knows. Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata. All right. Now the question is, how can in the inert there can be a Kshetrajna? Sat Swarupena. See, every object exists. See, if I say this computer is or table is, the table is obviously not conscious being, it's inert. What do we call it as inert? That which cannot know itself, nor it knows anything else. But the existence of that object is Kshetrajna there. Meaning, being the Brahman of the nature of Sat Chit Ananda, the Sat aspect of SAT, Sat aspect of an object is Sadbhavena Sarvatra Tishtati. As a pure existence is there. Even inert object is also Brahma Swarupam only in the way that it is. Asti bhati priyam rupam Nama cha iti ansha panchakam aditrayam brahma rupam. Meaning Sat also is Brahma rupam only. Existence is also Brahman. So, what you say as idam exists. That existence is Brahman. In our case, not only we exist, we know that we exist. That is Chaitanyam or Chit. Just because you have the nature of Chit, does not you qualify becomes Aham Brahman. I know about these things, From the standpoint of Vedanta, everything is Brahman. Even inert object is Brahman. So-called inert object. So now, Kshetrajnam chabi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. First line, so he has explained this. Kshetram and Kshetrajna is next. What is Jnanam? He jumped to the next one. Jnanam Nyayam. Then the third pair of questions he asked, what is Jnanam and what is Nyayam? Now he says, let me tell you about Jnanam first. Kshetra Kshetrajnayoho Jnanam. Knowing what is a inert or Kshetram, subject to change and perishing, and the one which is imperishable, knowing, conscious being, the difference between those two are both of them, what is of the nature of them, knowing that is called Jnanam. Kshetra Kshetrajnayor Jnanam Yatta Jnanam Matam Mama. That is what is called knowledge. And the purpose of knowledge is moksha. So, Kshetra Kshetrajnayoho Jnanam Moksha Margam Iti Janiyat. Come to know that this knowledge will lead you to liberation, which is Nyayam, to be known, to be realized. So, continuing on that point, Sarva Kshetreshu Ekaha Ishvarava or Bahudava. So, now the question is, A Dvaita Margin would say, yes, we accept the existence of Kshetrajna, all right, in every being, but it's only amsha of the Lord. It's only a part of his being. His reflection alone is there, not he himself is there. Like if there is a sunlight there or moonlight there, moon is there, so there is a lot of ponds are there. In every pond there is the reflection of the sun takes place, or the moon's. So in every pond there is reflection. That does not mean that is moon. It's only reflection of the moon or reflection of the sun. So too, Bhagavan is there. We are all only reflecting his presence like mirrors. I am on reflection, you are on reflection, everybody is reflecting his own. So in that way, Sarva Kshetreshu, in all beings, his presence is reflected. In that way it is fine. But the problem in this is then, you are giving validity to the reflecting media. Without that you are not, right? See, if the pond is there, in the water of the pond, the sunlight is reflected, pond is not, water is not there, what happens then? What happens to the light? It disappeared. So, one light reflecting in many, meaning one Ishvara reflecting in every being as individual jivas. So, that means the individuality is there. If the individuality is there, tad vyadiriktaha bhokta vidyade chet. Tad vyadiriktaha bhokta, meaning other than the apparatus that makes you an individuality, if that is there, then samsari. Then the individual must be an experience of that individuality. That conditioning. Who is samsari? Somebody very sorry. So that samsari, samsarin actually, samsarin is one who is experiencing the changes that are taking place in the body, mind, etc., that in which it is reflecting. So if that samsaritva will not go away at all, according to the Sankhyanas, that the Purusha is a conscious being, and that conscious being will never get rid of the Prakriti, he can only remains detached. That what you call liberation. But there can be any eternal liberation. If eternal liberation or everlasting freedom must be experienced, then it cannot be with the existence of that which is conditioning you. Right? So when Bhagavan says Ekaha eva, aham sarvatra ekaha eva, what it means is I am alone there. What you call it as a variety is not true at all. Only then this Shastra which talks about Bandha and Moksha is valid. Ishvara vyadirekena va samsarinaha anyasya abhavat. So if you say, okay, in that case, the individual who is there, other than him there is nobody else, then Ishvara becomes a samsari here. So neither you can accept there are many jivas, then it becomes what? Bhagavan Ishvara got divided into many parts. Or you can say, he alone is there, then who is experiencing? The pratyaksha, because anubhava is what? Our individual experience, that every one of us is experiencing the samsara or the suffering of the world. Then that who is me in me? Krishna, Ishvara. Who is experiencing samsara? Me. Therefore, Ishvara is samsari. Either way you go, it's a problem then. If you say, other than Ishvara, somebody else is suffering here, then means that is true. Then first statement is wrong. When you say, Sarva Kshetreshu Mam eva, Aham eva, that is wrong. If he is alone is there, then he has become samsari. So both ways is cut. So what do we do, Swamiji? No? Come tomorrow? We always keep a suspense, right? Otherwise what? No. To be continued. ... Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkhabhat Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.